Hi ladies, it's Dawn and I am here to do a foundation review today, and I have some notes because I don't want to forget to tell you everything or anything. And what I'm reviewing for you today is the Honest Beauty, and this is their Everything Cream Foundation, and it looks like this. I know there's some old packaging floating around that has more of like a metal like this kind of packaging. It's still the same thing. I don't believe that the formula has changed at all, but the packaging has changed. And I've received products from Honest Beauty with both types of packaging, and the products were fresh and things like that. So I just wanted to mention that right off the bat. So I wanted to try this foundation because I really love foundations that are a cream foundation that you can apply, you know, like this. I really like that. I typically only use these kinds of applicators for touch-ups when I carry it in my purse, which I do with this one. I keep this in there for touch-ups. But this is a clean, organic foundation company. Honest Beauty was founded, I think the company owner is Jessica Alba, the actress. I never tried any of the products, although they've been around for quite a while. But when I went green with my cosmetics and skincare, that was one of the first product lines that was on my radar, because I'm always sucked in when I go to Target, which is where I purchase my products, when I see that beautiful poster of Jessica Alba, and she just looks so beautiful, and I always want to peruse her cosmetics. But I never purchased anything. And the other thing that drew me to these products were that they are a drugstore price point. They're a little bit on the high end of a drugstore price point, but they aren't the price point of a luxury brand or more of like a Sephora brand. This particular product, the Everything Cream Foundation, retails for $21. I got mine on sale for $17, which is along the line of drugstore prices. You can purchase them on the Honest Beauty website. You can purchase them at Target. I believe they sell them on other places too, if you just do a Google search, but there's often sales and discounts. And on the Honest Beauty site, you can bundle products and receive a discount that way as well. This product comes in 8 shades. It comes in 3 light shades, 2 medium shades with the, so that's 3, 4, 5, with the 6th shade kind of being a medium dark shade. And then there's 2 more deeper shades. So there's 8 shades. And one thing that I noticed about Honest Beauty is that they really make a great shade range for women with deeper skin tones, which I've noticed seems to be missing in so many clean beauty brands. But Honest Beauty, I noticed, does have a lot of deeper shades. So I think that's important. It claims to have adjustable coverage with a velvety finish, and the adjustable coverage is a medium to full coverage, and I agree with that. I need to just apply 1 coat to get a nice medium coverage that covers any redness on my skin, any pimples or acne or anything I have going on, and it still allows my freckles to lightly shine through. But if I go over that area one more time, then it will cover my freckles as well and give me a fuller coverage. It does stay put throughout the day, meaning that it doesn't gather into the lines around my nose or my fine lines around my eyes or here or on my mouth. And I do have a line here on my chin that seems to gather foundation and makeup in it, but it doesn't gather there. And that's kind of the line that I use as a test. I don't know what that, not everyone has that line there, but I have that line. It's not really a wrinkle. It's just, I guess, the way my chin is. I've always had it, but makeup tends to gather there. So anyways, it also has jojoba oil in it, and it has calendula flower extract. It has chamomile, it has vitamin E, and it's infused with antioxidants and wonderful ingredients. It does have titanium dioxide in it, which a lot of products use as a chemical sunscreen. I prefer zinc oxide, but you know, I don't really mind if it has titanium dioxide. Let's see, it's weightless, and it does have a little bit of a moisturizing capability where it doesn't dry me out after wearing it. So after I wash my face, after wearing it for several days, I feel like my skin does feel, it's not doing any drying to my skin, even though it is more of a velvet matte finish, and it leaves my skin feeling healthy and good. The pigments used in this foundation are mineral pigments, so it's healthy and it's green beauty. It's free of parabens, silicones, mineral oil, talc, let's see, petroleum, and it's fragrance free. And I think that's fantastic. It doesn't really have anything that can irritate your skin in it, and I think that's great. The way that they recommend applying it is going into your T-zone first and blending it out to the edges of your face, which makes sense. And I believe that it is just a beautiful foundation. So I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, I'm not going to wait till the final thoughts part, but at the end of this video, I will give you some tips and tricks to help you make it work for you if you have a drier skin type, because I watched several videos on this and I read a lot of reviews, and I've worn it for about 10 or 11 times before I did this review. So anyway, stay tuned. I'm going to show you how I apply this. I'm going to come back with my final thoughts. And if you have any questions or comments, of course, ask them in the comment section below. So here we go. I have my Honest Beauty Compact right here. And like I said, mine is in the color Shell, the second to the lightest. And this is what it looks like. It does open and include a sponge, just like a little cheap makeup sponge, which is fine because I would carry this in my purse and use this for touch-ups using that sponge. But for everyday wear, like I'm applying it now to wear as my makeup for the day, I would either choose a damp Beauty Blender sponge, or like not necessarily the Beauty Blender brand, but a beauty sponge. And today I'm just gonna use a little disposable wedge sponge on one side of my face, and I'm going to use a Morphe 406, I think it is, or 416. I can't read the number, but it looks like this. And it's a nice stippling brush because it goes on very nicely when you stipple it on as well. So I'm just gonna do one side of my face with the brush, and I'm gonna do the other side of my face with the blender sponge, and just give you some feedback. I've applied it many times using both ways, and I think they both applies best using these two techniques for myself. So on the right side of my face, I'll do the sponge. And it is recommended that you start on the inside of your T-zone and blend out. And that makes sense because if you apply it to the outside, that's where it will be darker and it won't match your neck and the places where you're not wearing foundation as well. So let's go ahead and just kind of mark where I'm gonna have this go on first in my T-zone. I do have a blemish on the side of my nose. I have some redness on my cheeks because I just exfoliated. So we'll see how well it covers that. So I'm just gonna go from my T-zone out. And it does spread very, very nicely because of the jojoba oil in the formula. It does help it to spread around very easily. I don't feel as if I'm tugging or pulling at all. And like I shared with you already, it's a medium to fuller coverage. So with just one coat, you'll get a good medium coverage. And I really like that. I have applied this shortly after I've exfoliated, like the next day or the day after that, where I've had some loose skin kind of hanging on that needed to be exfoliated off. And I will say that this is not the foundation you want to wear while you have flaking skin. It will grab onto that flaky skin, and it doesn't look good when it does that, but no foundation looks good when it does that. I've gone ahead and spread this out on one side of my face using the beauty sponge, and you can see the side. I still have my redness. I have some redness around my eyes. I have a blemish here on the side of my nose. I have no makeup on the side of my face, and this side I do, and you can't see any of that redness or any blemishes. I don't even feel the need really to go in with a concealer afterwards. So, you know, I may or may not do that. The next thing I'm gonna do now is go in with the Morphe stippling brush and just pick up some product with it. I do like the stippling brush because of the 2 levels of brush fibers. And so it's very easy to disperse the product very lightly. It's not like you're going in with a heavy dense brush that's gonna put down a lot of product. it goes on very lightly with a stippling brush. So if you prefer to get it on very, very light and then build up, this is the way to go. The beauty sponge will put down more product more quickly. And also if you've got that dry skin, like I talked about, a stippling brush would be the way to go too, because a stippling brush really blends and buffs away any dry skin. You know, you can buff it off with the brush as well. Again, that sounds a little bit gross, but we got to do what we got to do, right, ladies? It definitely is more of a lighter coverage with the brush, definitely a medium coverage with the blender. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little more with the blender sponge, just a tiny bit to even out the coverage. If I had done the stippling brush side, I would have just gone on the other side with the stippling brush, you know, just to make sure I'm matching. But it looks really good. The stippling brush, like I said, is a very light coverage. You could still see my blemish a teeny bit, but mostly all the redness is covered on my cheek. And I'm just going to use this as my concealer as well and just pat it around my eyes. And then I always like to go under my chin. This color matches my skin perfectly, so I don't really feel like I need to do a lot of blending out on my neck and things like that. This does give you a very true velvety finish. Many products claim to give a velvety finish, but they don't really deliver on that. But this does appear velvety after you get it on your skin. It does not have a dewy finish, and I really like that. I sort of like more of a matte, not a flat matte, but more of a luminous matte finish with my makeup. And it does give me that. It does definitely have that nicer coverage than like the Juice Beauty CC cream. I'll be also reviewing the Juice Beauty Compact Foundation, which will give you more of a dewy or luminous finish, but that's another really good one that I'll be bringing to you soon. But for a matte velvety finish, a little more of a medium to fuller coverage, this is the final look. And I feel like it really does deliver. I've used it many times, probably 7 or 8 times, and throughout the day it will wear very well. It doesn't seem to gather in fine lines or wrinkles, and it doesn't make my skin look older like some fuller coverage foundations can do. And I think it's, again, the jojoba oil, and it does have some soothing ingredients in it as well, so it doesn't make my skin sensitive or break me out. And that's something I really look for when I'm using more of a cake-like foundation that's in a compact light. So now I'm gonna go put the rest of my makeup on and I'll be right back. Okay, so I am back with the rest of my makeup on, and I would have to say that I really love this product. I've used it many times, and I do have a tip for you. If you have a drier skin type, and it isn't a dry formula, but because it is a velvet matte, I know that my girlfriends or some of you who have shared with me that have a drier skin type, you tend to steer away from these kinds of products. I have a tip, and I used this when my skin was on the dry side after using some exfoliants. What I did is I went in with some argan oil, or I'm sorry, jojoba oil, my Trader Joe's organic jojoba oil, whatever jojoba oil that you like that's organic is what I would recommend. Put it on my hands and press it into my skin as a primer prior to putting on this foundation, and it applies beautifully. Another thing you can do, but I have not personally tried, is that Honest Beauty does make a hydrating or a more dewy face primer, and I've read in the review section of this product that some women like to use that primer with this foundation, and it looks beautiful on drier skin types that way. So there's a couple of suggestions for you. If you've tried this, or if you'd like to try it, leave me a comment and let me know your thoughts. And if you just want to leave any questions or comments at all, please leave them in the comment section. I love interacting with you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a blessed and beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.